United, with plenty of trophies in their sights this season, the FA Cup amongst them. But knowing that Reading would not be a pushover, Alex Ferguson himself warning his players quite publicly to be on their game tonight. They started as though they were going to use their slick football and maybe pull away from Reading early on.
Certainly seemed that way, the way they were playing in and around the box. Welbeck very clever to try and play the 1-2 with Hernandez. It comes back to him. I thought he was going to shoot with his left foot, but just trying to cut it back onto his right. Had another chance with Welbeck, having his shot blocked by Mariappa, who had a good game throughout. Mariappa. Here it is again. There's the turn that just sets everything up. Sure, he comes across on the cover, then tries to get the block in. Mariappa gets the final couple of blocks.
Reading looked as though on this occasion that McCleary would get away with the ball, but he was stopped by Anderson. Had a decent night. Ashley Young, who played for an hour or so, come back for him. Welbeck steer it in from that tighter angle.
That was the sort of movement you saw from Manchester United in that first 20 minutes. Ashley Young coming infield to set up the run of Welbeck, who ran from deep. Federici made lots of saves throughout the game.
Quite get enough of the set pieces to exploit the weakness in Manchester United they did in the league game down at the Medeski in December, when Morrison was a scorer from a Shorey delivery.
Throughout the evening, Vidic was brilliant.
Bit of retrieving by Welbeck, has always worked very hard. Double save here from Federici, first from Cleverley, then from Young.
Well, they just created the overload in midfield. Welbeck, as you said, did well to win the ball back. Can't get out to Cleverley, and he just continues his run. Ashley Young, Federici reacts really well to the second one.
By this time, Nani was on in place of the unlucky Phil Jones, with Valencia going to right back. Nani was to have a productive time as a substitute. He announced himself there, very unlucky. Solid whack against the post and out.
Couldn't hit it any better. It's a good job. Morrison, who got the first clearance, didn't get a touch on that.
Still time before half-time for Nani to let fly again. Federici certainly made a succession of decent saves tonight.
They started to play well, Valencia and Nani together down the right-hand side.
Well, Manchester United unable to make the breakthrough in the first half. There were some signs, and Anderson's forward run here, that Reading were beginning to wilt.
Yeah, Anderson just ran off the back of Legion Wood, who couldn't get back, and he was immediately taken off, and Mariappa doesn't come across quickly enough.
Reading aware that Nani's left foot's not quite as good as his right, but nonetheless
Just doesn't
smashed this, didn't he?
Didn't quite wrap his foot around it enough, did he? But he had lots of time again.
But Nani on the hunt for a bit of personal glory tonight, and he got it.
Talked about Valencia and Nani combining down that right-hand side. I don't think the pass was meant for Nani. He took it off Robin van Persie here. See, Robin van Persie just got himself on the half-turn, but he does it really well, Nani. His first touch just sits up for him, and he hits it so early. It takes a slight deflection.
And the onus then, of course, on Reading to try and respond. And Lafondra, a boyhood Manchester United fan, who has such an eye for goal, who's worked his way up the leagues to be where he is today.
A good header from Noel Hunt at the far post up against Valencia. A good technique from Lafondra as well. Not for the first time in recent weeks. Good save from De Gea.
Tom cleverly seizing possession, and then a lovely early ball from Nani. Hernandez, who uses the areas at the far and the near post, the near post here to such great effect.
He works the defender Morrison back towards the far post and then comes back across him. He realises there's space between the two centre-halves, and it's a good technical header as well, just glancing it in.
And it looked as though it might be reasonably comfortable, but then bit of deep defending, and McAnuff didn't get many goals, got one here, and got Reading back into the closing stages of the game.
Vidic goes into a midfield position too early, and Smalling has to come round on the cover, and then they can't get back in time to stop McAnuff scoring. So the challenge comes in here, doesn't quite make it. Butner it is that makes the challenge.
And Reading pressing forward in numbers, and always vulnerable to the Manchester United counter-attacking machine. Hernandez, only one thing in his mind, and actually, while he was wondering why and how he didn't score, Nani very nearly was scoring.
There's 3 or 4 times late on in the game when Robin van Persie just went short, picked out runners. This one for Hernandez. Did really well to shoot before Mariappa gets tight to him.
Well, this does represent, by Reading standards, a chance, and Nicky Shuri turning away. But Manchester United through by 2 goals.